All right, Stanford and USC. How about a little Pac-12 action taking place here right now? The current line here, and this one has USC right now at around, looks like 9-point favorites here, 65 and a half being the total. Yeah, 9, it looks like. Actually, the total's gone up a little bit, 67 and a half. And I think bettors are reacting to that USC offense, how good it looked, crisp it looked at first game for Lincoln Riley as the head coach of USC, and it should look good. Lincoln Riley's offense brings the quarterback with him from Oklahoma, Caleb Williams, who knows that offense, knows that system. It's supposed to be a hand and glove type of fit, with very little adjustment, I should say, or adjusting period for that. It should be a nice seamless transition, and it sure was, but it was also a seamless transition against an absolutely hapless football team playing Rice last week, and USC did anything they wanted in that game. Their defense was opportunistic, multiple interceptions, and I think they had a 1 or maybe even 2 pick sixes in that game against Rice quarterbacks. So, if USC brings that defense as well, that's going to be interesting. I've always thought when it comes to Alex Grinch, the defensive coordinator for USC, there's another guy on the Oklahoma coaching staff that Lincoln Riley brought with him to Southern California. He's always a bit of a rambler gambler. He's like us, a bit of a gambler. Like, he takes risks with his defenses, tries to go for the interception, and sometimes they can get burned and give up a big play. He's kind of that aggressive and a little bit more heavy on the blitz as well at times. Very aggressive, risk-taking defensive coordinator, Alex Grinch, but it paid off well against Rice last weekend. So we'll see how they fare here now as they go on the road to Palo Alto to face this Stanford Cardinal team that ended up with a 41-10 win against Colgate in their first game of the season. It's a Stanford team that I've obviously had a big-time struggle the last couple of seasons. We've seen them decline as a program. I think there's potential for this quarterback, Tanner McKee, who's back at the quarterback spot, was very efficient. It's against Colgate. You don't want to go crazy. They didn't play anyone of significance, but still he had 308 passing yards, 22 of 27, very efficient. The total's gone up. The only thing is we're talking now 67 and a half now with this total. And you're going to get a Stanford team that's going to be slow it down, conservative. And I'm telling you what, David Shaw, who, if they have another brutal year, this has got to be the end of the road for him at Stanford this year. But this guy is the king of 4th and 3 from the USC 40-yard line in this game, and he'll punt. Like, nobody does that anymore. 4th and 3 on the opponent's 40-yard line. You either go for it, you kick the long field, or you go for it. That's what everybody's doing these days in 2022 football. But not our good old friend David Shaw. No, 4th and 3 at the opponent 40, we're going to punt. That's what we're going to do. He still does that. I saw him do that shit last year multiple times. So that's the problem now. I think USC is a dead nuts over team because I'm still not sold on the defense. I think McKee and the Stanford offense can move the ball a bit. I think USC's offense can do damage against a Stanford defense that was horrible, how Stanford's defense fell off last year. So yeah. I understand this total being that high, but man, I'm having a hard time pulling the trigger because I'm seeing 67 and a half, and all I can think of in the back of my mind is conservative offense, slow it down. And if it's 4th and 3 on the USC 40, this bastard's going to punt David Shaw because he does this every freaking year. With the Stanford offense. But so I lean to the over. I don't know if I'll lay this many on the road with USC, but Stanford's still a wait and see. Like, this is the first time we're going to see them against someone capable. I got to see it before I'm ready to back the trees in this game. What do you think, Conor? Pac-12 matchup, USC Stanford?
Yeah, I got to wait on both these teams. I know there's a lot of hype with Lincoln Riley, basically gave him everything to come to SC. And they did well. He's got Caleb Williams at quarterback. Washington's one of the best receivers there. Williams, the running back, is really good. Yeah, my problem was I didn't bet enough on that over in the Rice game I talked about. I should put way more money on that over. But you're talking about the total here now. That's really, really high. I still think there's points. And yeah, last year, Stanford's defense was not good. It had holes. But one place I like to back them is here at home. And I thought McKee was pretty good last year, and he had some moments like you mentioned. Um, Obviously, they beat up, who was that, Colgate, right, or whatever. They were sloppy with the ball, though. They had 2 or 3 fumbles, an interception. They got to shore that up, or it could be a long night. You know what? I didn't jump on this because I still got to wait and see these teams. I have not seen Stanford enough, obviously just one game in. But if you got over 10 here, because this line opened at 11.5, I think that's a good ticket to have in your pocket. Because I think over 10 there and Palo Alto is a good look here on Stanford.
Yeah, I get that sense too, that don't just rush to bet USC this week after what we saw against Rice. Rice is a hapless, floundering program, and Stanford, I do think is going to be a little bit better this year, but again, 41-10 against Colgate last week isn't going to tell you a whole lot. This is going to tell us a lot more. This is one of those you sit back, you watch, and you analyze and you observe. I want to see how good USC is, and also on the flip side, let's see if Stanford's just even a little bit better than they were last year. And obviously playing an opponent like this, is definitely going to prove that a little bit, just to how much Stanford might be or might not be